Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Marvin. Today, I've got 9 Bourbon Drop budget bangers. I think that you will find this list highly enjoyable and it should help you out if you are on the beginning of your bourbon journey and you're just looking for something a little cheap. Me, myself, when I first started, I didn't want to go over 30 bucks. I walked into a store, there was a guy there. I told him, look, I want to treat myself. He pointed me in the direction of Booker's. For my first pour, Booker's ripped my face off. I mean, it was very enjoyable, very flavorful, but man, it kicked me in the mouth. So after that, I said, Booker's is quite expensive. I cannot spend 60 bucks every time I want a good bottle. Kind of limited myself to 30 bucks, and that's how I landed on Knob Creek. With that being said, let's get into it. These are in no particular order. I'm just going to run through them, and I hope this helps you in your bourbon journey. First bottle up, Benchmark Single Barrel. Now, I can't get these in my market. This was sent to me by my buddy CA. Shout out CA, I really appreciate it. This right here, every time I look it up online, it's between $23 and $24.99. This is not going to break your pockets. This right here is a very good introduction into that Buffalo Trace flavor that they come out with. I mean, Buffalo Trace has this, to me, a grapey, fruity flavor profile. I think these Benchmark single barrels will put you in the right direction. I don't think you'll go wrong with these barrels at all. Next up on the list, I'm gonna go ahead and say Knob Creek. Knob Creek, like I said, I used to be able to get Knob Creek for $28.99. Now this thing has kind of crept up. I see it in stores in Maryland anywhere from $34.99 to $42.99. I mean, it's all over the place out here. But this thing right here, man, all butterscotch, vanilla, heavy chocolate, milk chocolate. You can't go wrong with a bottle of Knob Creek. It is just delicious. Let's get into the next bottle. This is a fan favorite. This is a budget banger for sure. When it comes to anything in the teens, the high teens, this right here, well, I won't say high teens, I'll say mid-teens. This is a budget monster. This right here, OGD 114. I mean, you're talking about 114 proof. This is in the Virginia ABC for $29.99, so 30 bucks. Coming in 1 cent under 30 bucks, so you might as well say 30 bucks. It just gives you those beautiful orange citrus notes. It gives you a lot of that heavy vanilla cream. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is a slight bit of graininess in there, and that's what's in the glass right now. It is very well hidden, but I will not steer you wrong. This thing right here is a budget monster. If you want to get into the high proof stuff, check out OGD 114, man. Those citrus notes and creamy notes, I mean, it reminds me sometimes of those Flintstone orange creamsicles that have the orange on the outside and the cream on the inside. You will not go wrong. I've got to take a sip of it. And the mouthfeel. That's got a heck of a mouthfeel. 114 proof, 30 bucks, can't go wrong. Next up on the list, Evan Williams 1783. Like I said, I just became a fan of the 1783. So far, this is my third bottle. This thing right here, man, it is just an excellent sipper. You can sip this thing neat. I don't do a lot of cocktails, but I'm pretty sure it will probably hold up in a cocktail as well. It is 90 proof. It is heavy vanilla. It's got a nice little bit of barrel char and a nice little bit of oak on it. I really enjoy this product. I think a new bourbon drinker or any bourbon drinker would really enjoy this product. Next up on the list, we are going to go with Early Times Bottled in Bond. Now, this is the Early Times Bottled in Bond. That is, and I'll say it again, this is the Brown-Forman version. Now, the new Sazerac version, Buffalo Trace version, I believe they're adding some of their own distillate to what they purchased from Brown-Forman. I do think the plastic black cap is better than the newer Buffalo Trace version, but it is just nothing but sweet barrel char, vanilla, brown sugar. You cannot go wrong with a bottle of Early Times Bottled in Bond. Let's get into the next one. This one right here, budget monster. This is the king of budget bourbons. 101 proof, Wild Turkey 101. The new Wild Turkey can be a little bit grainy, even though it beat the old Paper Label. Shout out to my Paper Label boys, man. The Paper Label, to me, has richer, darker flavors, and it has a little bit of barrel char in it that I don't get on the new glass turkey, man. I'm telling you, this one right here, it is just something different about it. And even though it lost in a blind, because I felt like in a blind, the glass turkey just seemed a little more well-rounded. The paper label turkey, just, man, when I have it by itself, that's why I've got to do a series called Standout Standalones, because when I have it by itself, it is just something special. It's got clove, it's got spice, it's got cinnamon, it's got a nice maple syrup note. Wild Turkey 101 for 23 bucks. You can't beat it. And I apologize if I didn't go over the other two. Evan Williams, this right here is going to cost you $21.99 at a Virginia ABC. It's a little more expensive out here in Maryland, sometimes between $23 and $26.99. This one was $26.99 when I picked it up in Myrtle Beach on a golf trip. Now the Wild Turkey, $23.99. Sometimes I find it in Maryland for $25.99. Let's get into the next bottle. Oh, before I get into the next bottle, can somebody out there help me with this one? I know it has a handle on it. It is different from, you know, the newer Wild Turkeys, but this is a paper label with an actual handle on it, and it has the serial number LL/EH240048. So if you can help me with that, put it in the comments. I'll probably put it in the description. I would appreciate it because I just want to age this bottle. I did buy this bottle probably about 6-7 months ago, something like that. So if somebody can, you know, help me age this bottle, I'd appreciate it. Let's go to the next bottle. So the next bottle, Elijah Craig. Now this happens to be a 10-year-old single barrel Elijah Craig store pick. I enjoy this thing. I mean, I enjoyed this one. It took a while for it to air out and for me to come around to it. But the regular Elijah Craig, to me, when you can find it, because there are not a lot of places that I can find it for in Maryland, but when you can find it for $25.99, this is one excellent pour. I just found this thing again. No, it was $24.99. I just found it at a store for $24.99. Normally I see it for over $30 in Maryland. That store, it seems like they always run a sale on it, so that's how I got it. But the regular Elijah Craig, I think, would just suit any bourbon drinker's palate. It would suit a new bourbon drinker. It would suit an experienced bourbon drinker. I don't think you can go wrong. The heavy creams, heavy vanillas. I won't say it's a lot of butterscotch. I will say it is heavy cream, heavy vanilla, a little bit of barrel char, and then a little bit of brown sugar. But this one right here, being a single barrel, has a lot of those and a little bit more. Let's get into the next bottle. Now, this next bottle, I know you see the big brother on the table, but OGD, man, OGD bonded. That thing is something special. I really liked as a cheap drinking bourbon. Put it beside the Wild Turkey 101, the Old Tub. I really like the Old Tub as a cheap daily sipper type of bourbon. I put the Old Tub beside the Wild Turkey 101. I thought it was probably as close as the Wild Turkey 101 that you could get. But then I put the Old Tub beside the OGD bonded, man. Wow. This made the Old Tub seem grainy. I mean, this is pretty much the 114 toned down. You still get those orange citrus notes. You still get those heavy vanilla notes. You still get those caramel notes. I mean, for about $21.99 at the Virginia ABC, you cannot go wrong with OGD bonded. Last up on the table, and it might be a little controversial, I saved the last spot for it because as I was in the store today, I heard two people talking about it, and they were talking about how great it was. And I am not going to crap on anybody's pick for a great bourbon. Bourbon is best enjoyed the way that you like it. So this right here was the bourbon that was talked about. I am not going to say that this is a bad bourbon. I think new bourbon drinkers would really enjoy Buffalo Trace. I mean, it comes in at 90 proof. It is an easy sipper. It has some of those citrus notes that I was talking about. It does have a nice vanilla note, and it has some oakiness. I think that's the reason why a lot of new bourbon drinkers and a lot of inexperienced bourbon drinkers find this Buffalo Trace so good. The wild thing about it, though, is it doesn't follow the profile of the other Buffalo Trace products, in my opinion. Eagle Rare gets really grapey. The Benchmark has a lot of grape in it, has a lot of cherry in it. I get a lot of grape in the Stag Junior products. I do get some cherry and grape in the Blanton's products. So Buffalo Trace just comes across different to be from the same distillery. Those citrus notes and barrel char notes and vanilla notes, I mean, they do hit right in this 90 proof offering. So look, I hope I was able to help you guys out. These are my non-bourbon drop budget bangers. Remember, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head into a drop. Until next time.